Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Animal, the animal is trapped, trapped, trapped till the cage is full. The cage is full, the day is new, and everyone is waiting, waiting on you, and you got time.
Wow. Getting better.
In memory of Scott.
Yeah,
He's not here this week. Scott says, hey. Yes. You're so positive.
What?
I could just see your truth behind your eyes,
to you
Sterling.
sing all day.
You're so positive. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You can say something nice about anything.
Don't you guys agree? Out there, tweet her. More song requests.
I'm sure you guys would love that.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of AfterBuzz TV's recap of Orange is the New Black, which is on Netflix. We're talking about season 3, episode 4, Finger in the Dyke. These titles are... That's the name of it. It's called Finger in the Dyke.
I didn't even read that before we started.
Right. It's a
That's very
little
funny.
graphic there,
Yeah,
writers.
that's very
Graphic. It's not a family show, apparently.
Right. Well, we knew that already.
We knew that. Yeah. I'm Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you follow me. Send me your messages. You can use the hashtag ABTVOITNB, which is Orange is the New Black.
Getting good at that too.
I know, I'm getting better every
full of
week.
compliments for
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you send us all of your comments. And who are you, pretty lady?
Oh, well, I am Sterling Cates, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sterling Cates with an S and with a C, as we discovered.
Sterling like silver,
yeah.
Kate's with the C.
Yeah, and I've got the computer here. We've got some live commenters. Deborah Battle is on here.
Hi, Deborah. You're always commenting. Shout out to you at Deborah Battle.
So let us know what you think. We have our computers. Tweet us. We'll talk to you during the show. Thank you guys so much for interacting with us. We love it.
Yes, and make sure you go to podcastone.com so you can take a survey and let us know what you think about this podcast because it helps us to get better. And I know you guys want to say you want me to stop singing. I just might if you guys comment enough on the podcastone.com survey.
Start a survey. Yep, exactly.
Start a petition or something. Yeah, make sure you go. The survey's really quick. It's like 3 minutes, and it really helps us to get better and let us know what you think. Make sure you keep commenting and subscribe below. Click the subscribe button.
Do it.
And also join on iTunes and SoundCloud.
Perfect.
We're everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this episode. It was all about Boo, which is, you know what, we said this a few times that we wanted to see Boo's backstory.
Right. Yeah.
So we finally get to see all about her.
Yeah. So do you think that each episode for this season is going to highlight a person like the last 2 have done?
I mean, I think for the most part, we've seen every episode will have flashbacks of either 1 or 2 people.
Right.
So we get to, I think it's, we still haven't seen Gloria's. Well, we saw Gloria a little bit.
We saw a little bit of Gloria, but not that much.
Yeah, and then we haven't seen Maria's. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen Flocka or Maritza's.
Yeah, but those are kind of smaller characters. I feel like Boo is bigger. But
Boo wasn't big last season.
Before. That's true.
So they might be switching. I think as the season goes on and Piper plays less of a role, other characters, it gives room for other characters. And I think I would love to see Norma's backstory.
Right.
How did a woman who doesn't speak get in prison?
And after that flashback we saw in the Mother's Day episode, I would love to see more of Healy's background.
Absolutely.
So even the guards and
Right.
People.
Yeah, this will be good. So let's talk about Boo. We see that the episode starts off with her talking to Pennsatucky because Pennsatucky still gets these letters from her crazy religious right fans who are happy that she shot up the abortion clinic.
Yeah, even though she didn't do that for those reasons.
Yeah,
we learned this episode that she did it just because she was
insulted.
Pissed off.
Yeah.
But she didn't do it for any religious reasons like she's leading everyone to believe.
Right.
But side note real quick, I love the Boo Pennsatucky relationship, the friendship that's blossoming.
I'm so glad they're friends.
Awesome? Yeah, ever since Boo came over, the angel of death or whatever, when she was dressed as that really scary clown, ever since then I feel like they've just had a really I feel like Boo is really patient with Pennsatucky, which I guess you would need to be if you're going to be her friend. Even with the, why don't I make 2 feet and get to step in or whatever. She was like, that was a good one.
You know what? And it was funny because at first we saw the last season, it seemed like Boo just wanted some new snatch. You know what I mean? She just wanted the new Boo to be with her. And, of course, Pennsatucky's new to her. She doesn't, she wants to turn her out. But it seems now like they're actually have a nice friendship.
Yeah, I love their jokes back and forth. It's
right. Yeah. It seems like they're good friends. And they have a lot more in common than, either one of them originally thought.
Right.
And so Pennsatucky's getting all this money put on her commissary, on her books, from these crazed fans that she has. And this sparks an idea with Boo.
Yeah, she's like, wait, they're sending you money?
Right.
Let me get in on that.
Yeah, so she wants to become one of these people who will get, who these followers can also latch on to, and they can give her money. So she hatches this plan to become not herself, basically. Right. To become a non-woman loving woman.
Transformed lesbian.
She's been
of
saved.
Sorts. Yeah.
No longer a butch lesbian. She now loves men. Yeah. Like all of this stuff. And I love that they go to, she learns the Bible verses. Yeah. And the nun's in on it. The nun's like, no, that's not right.
But she gets the cardboard for her mattress. Because they still don't have mattresses. Can we talk about that for a second?
Goodness gracious.
God, I can't even imagine.
I know. I kept saying that. Like, they kept showing us that. So hopefully they get mattresses soon.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. So then, she's learning the Bible verses, and then she gets a maemakeover. Yeah. Which I was like, wait, how did they get all that hair on her head?
It was a wig.
Oh, is that what it was? I didn't see that. No, I just saw them part. I was like, wait, how did she
when Sophia gives her a makeover?
Yeah, I thought it was like weave that she had like sewn in, and I was like, oh, they fancy.
Well, her head is shaved.
No, but she has like that little tuft of hair.
I thought it was just a wig.
I thought it was weave. I thought they put like, okay,
that's pretty funny. Yeah,
Sophia knows how to hook it up.
I mean, I don't doubt her skills. That's very true. But she has a hair salon.
Where did you get the wig and the hair salon from?
These are all very good questions that I cannot answer.
I know. Well, where do you get weave from when you're in prison? I'm over here like, she put weave in her hair.
Yeah, it seems pretty fancy for Litchfield.
Right. Either way, Boo looks like her mom, she says, and it makes her sad because it takes her to a flash.
Right.
Flashbacks. Let's talk about flashbacks. We see her life. She's at, she comes from a 2-parent home. Yeah. Seems like things are good, except her mom doesn't want her dressing like that.
Well, it doesn't accept her at all. So in all of the flashbacks, we see her struggling / defending herself for not wanting to be anything but who she is.
And I think she has to overcompensate as a result.
And exactly. And she doesn't feel like she needs to explain herself to anyone.
Right.
Which makes sense. I mean, and I thought it was a interesting point when her dad says in one of the flashbacks that not everyone gets the privilege to be who they are 100% of the time.
Right.
And that was pretty interesting because, as much as we want to be ourselves all the time, no matter what it is that makes you different, it's like there are times and places where you have to act certain ways or dress certain ways. Right. Or, you have to look a little more conservative here or a little more this way here or whatever it is.
Right.
But, I mean, that's not saying we have to change ourselves, but it was an interesting point though.
Right.
Because he was like, I don't want to wear work clothes all the time,
right?
But I have to.
It's the costume that I put on. It's a costume. It's not who I am. And I think it goes to show you that's why she overcompensated so much, because in one of the flashes, she's at the bar, she takes a lady, she's going to take her to her house, and then the little boy calls them dykes or whatever, lesbians, whatever, and she just flips.
And it was very scary.
It was.
That switch of if I was, dating someone or going home with someone or whatever it is, and he did that to someone after a comment, that would be so scary as someone that you're interested in.
And which is why the girl
leaving.
Right. And it was kind of like the girl was also a lesbian, so she's like, basically the boy insulted me too, but like, who cares?
Right.
And so for Boo to just flip like that, and she was, and the girl that she was with, I think she said her name was Tracy or whatever. She said, Taystee told her, she's like, what do you expect? You look like you look like a butch lesbian. So if people have something to say, brush it off. Like, keep it moving.
Right.
And it was kind of like, dang, I guess she has a point. Also, I want to say something about what you were talking about when she was having the comment. Or well, I guess we just go through all the flashes. Let's do that first. So the next flashback that we see with Boo is when she's having sex with her girlfriend.
Right.
Which, by the way,
I know you have lots of comments on that.
I just want to say this. So I've never, not being a lesbian, I never really thought about lesbian sex.
Right.
Okay. When I saw this, I was like, oh. Because, you know, in the other parts of the show, we see, like, lesbian sex with Piper and Alex.
Right.
And it's just always them kissing and fondling or whatever, right? Yeah. And then you see... They show you the actual penis, like the dildo. And I was just like, oh. It never registered to me. I mean, I know you guys are going to cream me on this, and that's fine. It just never registered to me that lesbians are using dildos. Right. Because I just thought, you don't like men, you don't want a penis. And then they never showed dildos, obviously, because they don't have dildos in prison.
Yeah, that's
it just never registered to me. And I was like, oh, that's how that works.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you got to do what you got to do. Work with what you don't have.
I guess you learn something new every day.
That's
true. Okay.
I wish I had more to contribute to this conversation, but I just
that was just me. I was the only one who didn't know how this worked.
I mean, I wasn't, sure. I never really put much thought into it.
I didn't either. Okay. All right. So then, we see that she's talking to her lover, and they're talking about how her mother is sick, Boo's mother is sick, and she kind of doesn't want to go see her because her mother's never accepted her. But she makes a point, her girlfriend makes a point and says, you don't want to regret this.
Yeah.
So the next flash that we see is Boo actually going to the hospital to see her mom, and her dad's asking her to, change her clothes a little bit. Let's girl you up some.
Right.
And do you think she made the right decision by walking away and saying she won't hide from who she is?
Right. Well, I mean, I think it was a good point. I thought an interesting point that she made during that conversation with her dad was that, she's been my mother for 42 years. She hasn't made any effort to, accept me. Right. And this kind of goes back to last episode when we talked about Nikki, about meeting halfway with the parent. Like, it's just so opposite ends of the spectrum there. So, I mean, you do kind of, it's that whole point of meeting halfway. Like, you give a little and they give a little, but it was just so opposite. Right. Like, Boo's not nudging, her mom's not nudging, so that's not going to go anywhere. Right. If they're not willing to compromise somewhere.
And I think, to me, your sexuality is a part of you. It's not who you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I'm straight. I don't have to wear that as a badge, and I shouldn't throw it in people's faces.
Right.
And I feel like, if your mom, if she's on her deathbed and she's never accepted you, okay, that's fine. But guess what? She's on her deathbed.
Right.
So even if you and your mom haven't had the best relationship, she's about to die.
I feel like for me personally, you gotta let it go. This could be the last time you would ever see your mother. Right. And regardless of your relationship, it's still your mom, and I just can't even imagine, being in that situation. And we see later in the episode when she says, I wish I wasn't so stupid. Yeah, and I regret doing it. So, I mean, that answers that question.
Yeah, absolutely. So then Boo, we'll come back to present day. Boo is trying to get the money from the church because they're super conservative, like, God hates fags type of people. And she meets with after she has her makeover, she meets with the preacher, and he clearly is hateful, and he clearly is
the worst.
Yeah, she thought it was going to be easy to go in there, say a couple verses, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to have him think I changed, and they're going to give me this money. Yeah. And she just cannot hold back because of how hateful he is.
Right. Well, yeah, and it just comes back to every storyline we see in all of her flashbacks that she's not going to pretend to be something that she's not, right, even if it is for money. Right. She's just very, strong in that belief that she's not going to pretend to be anyone. But he was referring to it as an illness and a disease and all of this stuff, and she's like, okay, this is too much. I thought I could do this, but I can't. Right. And if she can't pretend for her mother, she definitely can't pretend for this guy she doesn't
And that's
know.
what I thought. I was like, your mom is the one that's probably the hardest to pretend for, and if you wouldn't, bend for your mom who was on her deathbed and you didn't even want to see her, then do you really think you're going to be able to deal with a bunch of religious right people?
Right.
And it made me so annoyed because just my own personal, like, I am a Christian, and it makes me so mad when I see people who act like this. I hate extremists of any form.
Yeah, I'm a Christian as well, and it's these this group of people that give such a bad reputation for the church and for Christians in general. So yeah, but I mean, it's a thing that happens,
right? And he was just like faggots, and I'm like, oh, that's so. I'm like, God is a God of love, regardless of what your beliefs are. Like, I just honestly don't think Jesus would be hanging out with like the religious right that you see here. I think he'd probably be hanging out with Boo.
I agree. Not anywhere where hate is.
Right. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about. So then of course, Boo just can't stand it. She loses her cool, and of course she gets 6 more weeks of work duty.
I was proud of her in that moment. Not so proud when she didn't go see her mom, but it was kind of like one of those. She seemed to learn her lesson. She's like, all right, well, this is a moment where I can stand up for myself because it was the right thing to do.
Right.
And even Pennsatucky was proud of her. She was like, that showed a lot of courage. I was very brave.
And it was more than Pennsatucky has, because she even admits it that she can't do the same with her followers.
Yeah, right.
She can't stand up.
Can we talk about the toothpaste situation?
Yes. Oh,
she
my
hasn't been brushing her new teeth.
Because they're like China. You don't brush China.
She said plates don't get cavities.
Oh, my
gosh.
gosh.
Aren't living in your mouth, though.
I cannot believe and then
so
Boo's like, your mom really did not help you. Like, your mom didn't teach you anything, huh?
Yeah. It didn't even do the basic stuff.
Right. How do you not know that you have to floss and brush, at a minimum, brush your new porcelain veneers?
Yeah. There was another thing that she said that I thought was like, Pennsatucky said that was pretty smart, genius, actually. She was like, if that's who you are, that's who you are, and if you're not going to fight it, might as well embrace it.
Right.
I was like, that is so true.
They're just such good friends
she's
now.
so smart sometimes, but then she's so not smart.
But I think that's why I love all the characters in this, because there's so many layers to them. You know what I mean? You want to like them, but then you kind of
do
don't.
something. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, let's talk about...
Deborah says it was a wig she was wearing.
Oh, thank you, Deborah, at Deborah Battle. Thank you so much for letting us know that it was a wig, because I really thought it was weave. Look at me.
There you go.
You're getting weaves in prison. You got a wig in prison.
Yeah.
All right.
Before we move on to talk about the rest of the episode, just want to point out one of our sponsors. So we give you all free podcasts. We love doing it. Love talking to you guys. Love recapping every show.
Yes.
But we have a sponsor. It's called, it's an app, and it's called Next Issue. And basically, you can get it on 5 devices. So your phone, your computer, your tablet, whatever. And it has every single magazine out there. Can you imagine, like, if you want to catch up on US Weekly from, like, 3 weeks ago, or, like, last week, or this one now? It's all there. And every magazine, it's unlimited. You can read whatever you want.
How much is it?
It is $10 a month, but if you go to nextissue.com/abtv, you can get a free 30-day trial.
Oh, cool.
So
wait, I don't have to give those magazines back, do I?
No, you don't have to do that.
Oh, I guess I can't unsee what I've already seen.
Yeah, you've already seen it. You've already read it, so you don't have to do that again. But there's so many magazines. There's ESPN's magazine, Allure, Cosmo, US Magazine, whatever.
SN70, all of
anything
those
you read,
things.
you've got the time to read it, doctors' waiting rooms.
Right.
I wish you could read it in traffic, but you can't. Don't do that. I don't condone doing that.
Yeah, don't do that. What's the website?
So, nextissue.com/abtv. That's for the 30-day trial. After that, it's $10 a month. So just try it out. It's 30 days.
I know, you can get every single magazine your heart desires.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Love it. Even the little nudie magazines.
I haven't investigated.
Those on there? Not that I'm going to look, but I'm sorry. I feel like we've got some guys that'll be like,
I feel like that's what Caputo would like. If they had that in there.
Speaking of Caputo, let's talk about the MCC visit. They come to a tour at Litchfield because they're considering investing in this prison and getting the profits from it. And so Caputo tries to clean everything up, tries to show them the good side of Litchfield. And of course, things are going to go wrong. But I love it as he takes them through the whole facility.
Yeah.
And like everybody, like Morello's crying.
Yeah. I was going to say that the best part about this is you can see the other guards looking at everything that's happening, and they're like, oh God,
like
of all days.
Right.
So yeah, you've got Crazy Eyes, like
losing her cool because
with the mop.
She's thinking about V still.
Yeah, you got Daya pissed off, and you've got Morello crying. Everyone's sad from Nikki.
Yeah, being sent to Max.
Right.
So many things are going on. So this doesn't look too good. But
isn't it kind of crazy they spend $537 a day on food?
That's sad. That is sad, because even though I don't know how I feel about this, because even though these women have done crimes, I don't think it's legit to be like, and we're going to make you eat disgusting stuff so that your health deteriorates.
It's crazy. And one of the concerns with MCC coming in is that since it is an all-female population, you know, the cost with having that, you know, like the health and food and whatever it is.
Yeah, so, and like the fact that she was like, when he said how much they spend on a day or like per meal, and she's like, well, the average is this, and it's just like, wait. So there, I think honestly, I feel like, you know, things are going to get worse at Litchfield, and it's going to be harder for Caputo because you essentially, you know, it's like a catch-22. Either you lose the prison or now you have even more restrictions. So I feel like that's what's going to happen because these people are in it for money. They absolutely don't care about any of these inmates. They're trying to make money. So they're going to squeeze, and they're already being squeezed. These women don't have mattresses and books right now. Like, they're not going to get those mattresses and not going to get any more books.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy to me that how much the prisoners, or the inmates rather, it kind of helped in, or were trying to help with the tour. Like we see in the kitchen that they're like, oh yeah, one time, like, you know, whenever we gave them all bread so that they would stop like having diarrhea or whatever, they like, but they were genuinely trying to help though, I feel like. And then the scene with Piper and for the electrical when they go there, I loved when that's like the first moment this season that I've liked something Piper said. I'm sorry. I'm like,
with her lady brain. She's like, yeah, I can fix it with my lady brain.
Yeah, she's like, if I concentrate extra hard with my lady brain, I can do it.
Like, but you know, here's the reason. I was thinking about like, why are they trying to help? I'm assuming it's because if you're in prison, it's like this prison I know.
Yeah.
If I go to another prison, I have to fight my way through. I have to prove who I am.
That's so
I kind of would rather be at this place where I have friends and I know how things run and I don't have to learn all of this again somewhere else.
So true.
Yeah.
I agree.
So that's why I'm guessing they were helpful on the tour. So let's talk. We were talking about Crazy Eyes, Suzanne, for a little bit. It seems that she's having dreams, nightmares, I should say, about V and V not being dead, V speaking to her. And I think this is foreshadowing that V's coming back.
I feel like they wouldn't still be bringing it up. If she wasn't coming back at some point.
Got to be coming back. Why?
Yeah, I don't really want her to, but she said that she saw her. And I mean, I guess it could have just been like some weird hallucination or whatever.
No, I think she probably did see her.
Yeah, what if she's there?
That's what I'm saying. I think V, because remember V got hit. Nobody really knows where she's at.
Isn't that kind of scary?
I think she's like lurking around the prison.
Yeah. Or she could be like they're like hidden somewhere, just no one knows about it.
Right, but I'm like, where would you hide?
I don't know.
We're gonna find V, y'all. V ain't dead. Oh gosh. So then, you know, all of the girls in her dorm where she sleeps. What do you call those barracks? Your section where you sleep? I don't know. We're gonna call it the dorm.
Yeah,
the dorm you live in
makes it sound a little more
like
nice.
a little more co-ed, like a little more college-ish. So they're all pissed off because clearly she's keeping them up at night. Suzanne keeps screaming for V. They're mad. They're not getting any sleep. And she's even causing a ruckus at the lunch table. Her and Poussey almost get into it because Poussey says V's dead. Stop acting like she's not.
Yeah.
And V has some strong juju on that girl because she really seems to believe that V's coming back.
Right. And it isn't until the scene with Taystee, which was pretty emotional, when Taystee kind of takes her back to the room and it's like, she's gone. She's like really gone.
Right, but I want to say something about that because, you know, the guard, when they're at the lunch table, the guard does tell Taystee, like, get your girl because she's going to go down the chute.
Yeah.
And at this point, they're all kind of annoyed with her. They're not getting any sleep. Suzanne won't shut up about V. You know, it shows you the kind of love, I guess, that they have as friends because I would have been like, maybe she needs to go to shoot for a little bit. Yeah. Maybe she should just go there for a couple weeks.
But I think they are actually, I think Taystee actually does care what happens to her.
No, I think
she goes down there, there's no telling what would happen to her just because of her mental state. So.
Right. And if she has no one to talk her off the ledge, she probably would be crazier. So I think it's really good that, you know, Taystee does try to help. And then, of course, we see that the MCC tour is coming to where they are after the hilarious scene of them rapping about Monday, Tuesday. I love it, by the way.
That is a song. That's
Right, which I was like, you guys are so funny.
I
just love them. They're so cute. And then the fact that Poussey's watching this.
Loves the cooking channel,
Right, and they're like, it's so boring. Okay, but yeah, so Taystee is trying to help crazy eyes. Not
Wait, I love when she's like, white people and other.
I know, right?
That's what you check on the...
Right? How funny is that? So yeah, Taystee is coming to help the tour people not see that Suzanne's acting crazy, and she takes her to their dorm, and they start crying together. And it was at this moment that I was like, oh, I can see why Suzanne or why Taystee would be so loving towards Suzanne, because Suzanne is like outwardly showing how she feels and her sadness. You see that in her outbursts. You see that, but Taystee has never been allowed to do that because, of course, Poussey is her friend, and all these people are like, V was bad influence, whatever. She's supposed to be on that side of things. So I can see why she wasn't able to mourn the fact that she lost V, who was her only mom, her only mother figure, as crazy as it was.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. This is like the first time we see her showing emotion about it.
Right.
And it isn't until Taystee breaks down in that moment that Suzanne says she's gone, and then she's like, I'm so sorry.
Right. Because
It's
this
like
is really your mom
she
over
really,
mine.
yeah. It's like, wow, okay, maybe she is really gone. So
Right.
maybe we won't see V. Now that Suzanne's like, we won't see her. She's gone.
Maybe. And then of course, they have this loving, touching moment. And Suzanne crawls in the bed with Taystee.
Oh, God.
And I was just thinking, is this the new dandelion?
Yeah. I kind of had that feeling when she, like, touched her face to wipe her tear away,
Right.
which was sweet, but, like, at the same time, you can tell that now she's probably going to be a little
obsessed with people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Taystee's not having that
No, she was like, no, that's not happening.
Right. So I don't know if that's going to, but of course, you see when Suzanne lays in her bed, she's got that little smile on her face, a little smirk.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Taystee's having it. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
Taystee's not having that.
No.
All right. Let's talk about. There's a lot of visits going on in the prison. Mm-hmm. We see. Let's talk about Piper. Today is June 7th, or the day on this episode.
Yeah.
And it's her birthday. We find that out that her and Alex aren't really getting it in.
And she doesn't love her birthday. I don't know. Maybe I thought there was going to be some sort of reason. She was like, you know how I feel about June 7th.
Right.
There's got to be some sort of reason why she doesn't like her birthday.
I don't know. And I thought it would be revealed with her parents coming.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing that I gathered from that is that her father just didn't really want to be there. But he said he's never missed her birthday.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
I teared up in that moment when she was like, when she said, are you not going to say anything? And she was already starting to cry.
Right.
And then he said, I've never missed your birthday, but I'm not going to pretend.
Right.
And have small talk with you. But this is okay.
Do you think her father should have come?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I get it was her birthday and he's never missed one. I feel like maybe in his head he was like, I can do this, whatever. And then when he gets there and sees her, he can't. He doesn't even know what to say.
Right. I'm glad he came.
Yeah.
Because even though...
Better than not coming.
Yeah, I think that would have been worse. And it's kind of like, I also hold it against Piper. Like, Piper, you can't expect people to accept or understand your situation the way... Like, this is your reality. It does affect other people. And I think she should be a little more sensitive to the fact that these people now have to live with you. Their daughter that they love is in prison because of the choices that your daughter's made. And so that's going to affect them. That's going to hurt them. And I think for her to be like, you can't even make small talk with me. I mean, it's like...
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. This is new. What do you want me to do?
It goes back to the whole meeting halfway thing that we're talking about with Boo. But, and even when Piper, kept going on and just digging deeper and deeper, not that she shouldn't have told them about her girlfriend, but with the dear God part and all of that, that was just too much. Yeah. To say to your parents who are very...
They're already
conflicted.
Yeah, they don't know. Your whole situation is something that they just read about on magazines from the next issue.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a little bit much for me. But I'm glad we got to see her brother Cal again, who I love.
Yeah.
And his old
very funny.
ice cream making endeavors. He's always into something new.
Yeah.
So Cal and his new wife. What are you going to do next? And then we also see that So-So has a visitor. It's Meadow. Remember, she would always talk about Meadow when she first got onto the show. And we're like, who is this stupid Meadow friend of yours? Now we get to meet stupid Meadow, who says it's cool to be in prison.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a really short scene, but I liked that So-So was like, no, it's not cool. This is stupid. Never come visit me again because you're such a terrible person.
Right. And it's such a difference because if you remember how when she first came into the prison, she was very like wide-eyed and like,
she's like, I'm so proud of myself for being here.
Right. And now she's like, no, this is reality. This is not cool. It's not fun. You're stupid. Don't come see me ever again.
Which is awesome. She's matured. That's the whole point, is you're supposed to be punished or learn something from it. So when she goes out, she'll hopefully not think it's cool to go back.
I know, but it's also like a sad, darker version of herself. Like, I kind of like that she was a little naive and
hopefully
innocent.
she'll hang out with some more mature people.
Hopefully. And then, of course, like when Piper was saying about how maybe she's supposed to be here because she's getting better. She knows how to fix stuff. And, she's
you can learn
how
to fix stuff outside of prison. This is not saying we've got to go to prison and become domesticated.
But I like the point that she makes that some people, it has to go to that extreme for them to become a better person.
Right.
Sadly, some people, I've heard about a lot of people that have come out and they're just like, I was horrible before I came in here and I really had a lot of time to think. I got better with my skills. Now I can be a good, productive person in society. And now Piper, she was probably going through life thinking that she was nice and she was kind and,
Well, and also I feel like when you're in prison, you've got to look at the positive side.
Right.
Like, what am I gaining from this experience? I feel like that could help you just get through the day, honestly.
Right. And then we also see that Gloria has a visitor, her son, and who is the lady that's taking care of her? It's like her.
It's like her sister or her. It's an aunt.
It's a lady that she's like the lady that she is cool with. I'm pretty sure we saw her in the other episode in her flashback. Mm-hmm. So she's taking care of her kids and Benito is bad. He's a bad boy. And it's just funny
how... Just acting out. Yeah.
Right, he's acting out. His mom's in prison, your dad's God knows where. And, it's really tough, especially for a boy in the city. You're in New York, you're trying to be raised and you have all the odds stacked against you. And I love how Gloria is still trying to parent.
In a very intimidating way when she talks directly to him. But yeah, the whole situation is just, they're talking about him like he's not there, and then when she does address him, it's very aggressively. So, I mean, I get that she cares, and she wants him to come every week to do his homework there, but how's he going to get there?
Which is a good point that her friend makes. She says, how's he going to get here?
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours from the city.
Right.
He's got to come every week to do his homework. Really? I mean, it was a good suggestion, and I think it was enough to make him go, okay, even though my mom is all the way here, she still is my mom, and she's not playing with me. Like, I can't.
You could see in his eyes that he was...
When she's talking about her brother's going to put you over to Washington Heights Bridge.
Yeah.
Whatever that bridge is. All right, okay. Gloria, I see how you parent. And we also see that she's talking to Daya. Daya's really sad because we find out from Caputo that he hasn't seen Bennett either.
Yeah, and that he pretty much thinks he's not coming back.
Yeah. He hasn't said he's not coming to work, but he hasn't come to work.
Yeah.
So Daya's, of course, really, really sad. And I just love how she has that moment with Gloria. And Gloria's like, if I was your mom... and then she ends up giving her a cigarette.
And we don't even see, and she's pregnant. We don't even see
Aleda,
her actual mom. And it was really sad when Daya was just like, I can't believe he just left us.
Yeah. I mean, well, kind of.
Hopefully he'll come back.
I mean, I think he has to come back, but at this point, it's kind of like, okay, I think Gloria's right. Like, this cigarette is not the worst thing that's going to happen to this kid.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's true.
Your baby's being born in prison. Your baby daddy is... You have to lie to his porn stash. It's not the worst thing.
He's going to struggle with worse things, I think. It seems like.
Right. And then we have Healy and Red. We were talking about the last episode how their relationship seems to be blossoming.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
And he gives her a little rose seeds.
He gives her some rose seeds.
And then he does a little hop skip away. He's like totally in love. I feel like he's got the feels.
Do you think Red likes him though? Like, do you think she
Red's
feels the way?
What? Every time she looks at him, she's like, "Why is he doing this?" But I feel like it's eventually going to be something.
Because I'm still trying to figure out. Okay, does Red like him back? She knows, she's starting to see that he likes her, and that he has the feels for her. But does she like him? I couldn't tell this episode.
I think that's kind of one of those things that she does like him, but she hasn't realized it exactly yet. The extent of it.
But here's the other thing: is she really over with her husband? They're not over.
No, they're not divorced.
Right, and I feel like they're still married.
Yeah. Maybe she won't have the same feelings, but he definitely has some feelings for her.
Right. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Healy and Red. Ooh, they're going to be getting it on soon, I guess. All right, do you have any? Let's talk about some predictions for the rest of the season.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
That was scary. Okay. Go ahead. Give me a couple.
Oh, gosh. Well, I was just thinking, I don't know if we mentioned this, but now Piper and Alex are officially girlfriends.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that.
As if we needed that, scene to know that.
What do you think?
God,
I'm bored already.
I'm bored with them. I want something to happen. I need something to happen with their relationship. I don't know, maybe someone else coming in or bringing back Jason Biggs. I would love to see him again. But they've got to figure out how to reintroduce his character.
I think since she's embracing her lesbianism, I think it's going to have to be they bring somebody into the prison.
Do you think
now she has a struggle instead of it being with Jason or whatever his character's name was and Alex, it's now this other girl and Alex.
Yeah. Or maybe Alex finds someone else or something. Or maybe someone gets out. What do you think about this whole MCC thing? Do you think that the prison is just going to pretty much run the same? Or do you think...
No. Yeah. This is going to get worse. I mean, so much worse. And we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg. Every moment I'm just like, because of course we see that MCC decides that they do want to invest in the prison. And I don't get a good feeling. I feel like, because now they're really going to be watching where the money goes, and they're going to be cutting any kind of corner that they can. Yeah. These women are already, at the very brink's end of anything, and so it's going to get worse.
Did you think that conversation with Caputo and the phone call from Danny, do you think that was sketchy, how they did the shot of Danny walking down the street, and he just seemed like he was going somewhere? Right. In my head, when I saw him do that, I thought he was going to go in and meet with Natalie. I was like, oh, this is all a hoax. Like, they're not really gonna do it. Or it's maybe fake or something.
It is weird that Danny was the one that called.
Yeah, when he was the most inexperienced, and then also he just the way the scene was shot, it just made the whole conversation seem really sketchy to me.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what's going to happen.
Maybe it's not even a real thing.
I kind of think it is only because there was 3 other people. I don't know if they're going to invest in the prison, but something's definitely sketchy with Danny.
Or something just sketchy with the situation in general. Like maybe it's not exactly what they say it's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then also, I think we're going to see some more with what's her name? Norma. Mm-hmm. I want to see Norma's backstory.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a really quiet backstory.
It's very quiet. No, or maybe it was really loud and now she's quiet.
No, I think in her backstory she's going to be talking.
Yeah.
And then we find out why she doesn't talk anymore.
Yeah.
I think she can talk.
What do you think about Bennett? I'm so torn now.
I just, because I'm like trying to figure out why did he leave? Where do you think he left?
He left that crib on the side of the road and we haven't seen him since.
Right, but I'm saying, but for what? Why did he leave? I don't know. All I know is somebody said on, you guys, I'll punch you in the face for this, but somebody said on the comments, they're like, you're not going to like Bennett.
What?
When you find out what happened.
No, don't tell us, guys.
No, they didn't say what it was, but they just said, you're not going to like him as you watch the rest of the episode. So I'm like, did he really leave? Like, is he gone for real, for real?
Oh,
I wonder.
I don't know.
Oh,
I thought I knew, and now I don't know because he's not back. Another thing is, just had a comment here from the Canadian witch, Ruby Rose. We've seen her all over social media since Orange is the New Black came out, so I guess she's going to come up in one of the upcoming episodes.
Yeah, is she the new love interest? She could be Piper's new love interest, maybe.
Or Alex's.
Oh, maybe Alex. That's going to be interesting. Don't you guys? Tell us what happens.
I can't wait. That's going to be exciting.
Yes. So let us share your predictions with us. Tell us what you think is going to happen. Don't tell us what really happens because we're going to be mad if you do. And so all these other people who haven't watched all the episodes are going to be mad also. So share your predictions. Share your comments in any of the comment spaces or tweet us and use the hashtag ABTVOITNB because we love to hear your comments. Where can we find you?
You can find me on social media at Sterling Cates. And guys, don't forget to go to nextissue.com/ABTV to get your free 30-day trial for the Next Issue app.
Yes. And you can find me, Megan Thomas, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. And make sure you also go to podcastone.com. Take that survey. Let us know what you think. Until next week, inmates, see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.